Hello everyone, Felipe here again here with Daniel. We are going to continue the classes. Sadly, for the moment, this lockdown was postponed until December 20th. So let's continue with the classes on YouTube. And this time, we're already done with the guard passing. So now we're going to work with the next step, which is the side control. Okay, so let's start already. Nice to see you everyone. Moving the head sideways, up and down, circling the head everyone, both sides. On. The other, back and forth, both directions as usual, just to loosen up, moving the hips. Okay everyone, and dropping on the floor. As usual, you're just bridging 10 times inside, the other side, as we usually do. Okay, also hip escaping for one. 10 times inside. We're going to go on the third position, just repeating an exercise that we did before, which is the long step. So opening the elbow, the left one for example, stepping with the right leg. Pay attention not to touch the hips on the floor, hips above the floor. Come back, do the same to the other side, open the right elbow. Step with the left leg, hips above the floor, to one side, and the other side. Okay, also 10 times inside everyone. We're going to do another one, which is sliding the leg. This is going to make more sense when we're doing the exercise here from side control. What I want to do right now, people, is I'm going to be in third position again, and I'm going to elevate my right knee and the right elbow. And I just want to push my left leg through, dropping my hip. Okay, I'm going to keep my weight on my elbow. You can imagine that my opponent's here under my ribs. Alright, so I can keep the weight here on my elbow like I'm smashing my partner. Pay attention people, this side, the hip all the way down. Okay, I'm going to go back, and I'm doing the same thing to the other side. I open up the left elbow and the left knee. I'm going to push my leg through. I'm going to keep my hip down, weight on my elbow, and I'm going to have a position. Alright? So again, 10 times each side, towards my right, turning my body to the right, coming back, the same thing to the left. Okay, pay attention people, sliding the hip. Okay, one side, the other side. Okay, and last but not least, as usual, rolling back and forth, and here, as usual, over the shoulder, either landing on our knees and rolling forward again, or if you like, if you're already experienced, hips all the way down without losing my feet, all the way forward. Okay, back and forth everyone. 5 times inside. Just warm up a bit, and we can go straight to the partner drills. Let's go. Okay, everyone. So we're going to start with the side control, right? And every exercise, I'm going to give a little bit more hints on how to establish the position. The first exercise that I want to do is just an exercise on how to maintain side control when my opponent is trying to escape. And the other one, we're going to work with some transitions. What is important for me to understand, everyone? Side control is, I would say, the strongest position to pin someone down. Okay, but in order to do that, pay attention, everyone, that we want to work in this area here on my partner's shoulder. Okay, super simple for us to understand. Okay, when I'm controlling my partner, I want to make sure that I have my partner's shoulders pinned on the floor. So in this case, for example, if I'm putting my weight on her belly, if I can pressure her belly here, it's uncomfortable for Dania, but this is not stopping Dania from bringing her shoulders forward. Okay, so I don't want to keep my weight like this, like a lot of people do, because I'm not actually preventing Dania from pushing me, for example, and this is a problem, all right? The higher I get, the stronger I get. For example, if I place my hand on her chest and she tries to come up, you see that it's a lot harder for her. So the higher I went, the stronger my position becomes. And I can demonstrate this easily. If I bring my thumb on her forehead, she's no longer able to bring herself up, and this is where I want to be. All right? So when I have side control, everyone, I want to have this position that we call cross face. I'm going to have my arm under her head. I want to bring my shoulder on her face, and I want to have my chest over the chest. And pay attention, people, so you can have a good base, knees apart, okay? If your knees are close together, super easy for your opponent to move you around. For example, if I have my knees together here and then it starts pushing me towards her left, for example, I'm already falling, all right? I want to keep my hips close to my heels, my knees apart, so I can have a strong position. And again, always aligned to her shoulder. Okay, so the exercise that we're going to do is just a counter to my opponent's reaction. Here, what Dani is going to do to escape most of the times, he starts using her frames to hip escape. She wants to bring this knee in front of my hip and stay here. As long as this shin is here in front of my hip, okay, I don't have any control anymore. Then it's gonna be able to extend her body and put me back in the guard, which we, on top, don't want it to happen. So I'm gonna make sure that I push this leg away before we start with this, okay? So I'm gonna be here on side control. Just for the sake of the exercise, I'm gonna let Dani get the space to bring the knee in. And here, I'm gonna keep the arm under the armpit and let go of the head. This control of the head is no longer worth it, okay? As long as this leg is in the middle, I can hold as much as I want. Dani is out already, okay? So what I'm going to do, I'm gonna keep this arm under the armpit, and this hand that was behind the head, I'm gonna bring on her knee, all right? So now I'm gonna create a bit of space here with my hip. I'm gonna push the leg out of the way, connect my knees again, get the cross face again, and we're going to do the same. For the sake of the exercise, I'm gonna let Dani hip escape. She's gonna bring the knee in. Before she extends her body, I let go of the head, hand on her knee, elevate the hip, push the knee out of the way, maintain my position, and I keep working from this, okay? So again, Dani hip escapes, she brings the knee, I push it away, and then I establish my position again. Okay, I'm gonna recommend, especially if you're now starting, that we do 1.5 minutes on one side, and then we're gonna switch, all right? And we're doing the same to the other side. Okay, again, establishing the cross-face position, the control here on the side, align with her partner's shoulder. I'm gonna let Dani hip escapes here. As her knee pops in, let go of the head, hand on the knee, hip a bit up, take the leg out of the way, establish the side control. Then it's gonna hip escape again, let go of the head, I push the knee out of the way, establish my position, and I have the side control. So, again, everyone, don't have to be fast. I just want you guys to understand, okay, this position. Make sure, everyone, pushing, okay, let go of the head, not the body. Every time that I'm here, I see a lot of people in the beginning that they try to do this. This is not strong enough to bring her leg out, okay? I need to control the body, so this arm stay under the armpit. The one behind the head is pushing. Strongest part of my hand, push it out of the way, and now we're back, okay? So we're doing this 1.5 minutes on one side, 1.5 minutes on the other side, and then you switch, whoever's on the bottom, get on top and do the same, okay? Moving forward, people. All right, everyone, now we're gonna work with some transitions, all right? I wanna do a smooth transition here without letting my opponent control my leg, okay? So what I wanna do is move towards mount and then back to side control without letting my opponent get any control with the half guard or the close guard. So I'm gonna start here in the same way. And very important, people, like we were saying here with the side control, I want to be aligned with my partner's shoulder. And very important, people, that I understand that I want to be cross my opponent at all times. So every time that I have side control, the basic idea that I want to have is that my head is gonna be on one side and my hip on the other side. That's why I'm able to pin my opponent down. So what I'm going to do is move towards the mount, set my grips, so when I move to the other side, I'm already in a strong position. So I'm gonna demonstrate this right now. So situation that I wanna have here, I'm gonna start like this, okay, so we can see each other. I'm gonna be here with a cross face, and I wanna move here towards the mount, people, without letting my opponent trap my leg. So never here just bringing the leg over without any control, otherwise this might happen, and this is a problem. Then I can start attacking me here. So what I want to do to ensure that she cannot trap my leg is here, this knee that I have close to the hip, I'm gonna bring over her belly, okay? And here, I'm just going to keep the pressure that I have here on her head, and I'm just gonna slide my knee all the way down. Pay attention, people, just the knee went, the foot stayed. Okay, so I'm gonna keep the control. Now that I have the knee on the floor, I'm gonna slide my foot in front of the leg, and now I have the mount, okay? Now that I have the mount, people, I'm gonna move back to the side control. But if I'm moving my hips towards her right side, I need to switch my grips here to ensure that she cannot move. So I was holding like this, I'm gonna let go of the armpit, grab the head, grab the armpit on the other side. Now that I have my grip set, I'm gonna move back to the opposite side. So I keep the pressure, I slide my foot in front of the leg so she cannot trap, and here I'm gonna move my knee towards her side and establish my position with the side control, just like I had before, but on the other side. I'm gonna move back. I keep my pressure, first knee on the belly, I slide my knee to the floor, open my foot without touching her leg, and I have side control. I switch my grips before I move, just to make sure that during my transition, Dani cannot move, cannot free herself. I keep the pressure, foot crossing to the other side without touching her leg, slide the knee, and I'm back on the side control, here aligned to the shoulder. So we're just gonna move back and forth. I keep the cross face, knee on the bag, slide to the floor, open the foot. Have the mount, I switch my grips, grabbing the head, the armpit on the opposite side, have everything in place. First the foot, then the knee, and I'm back onto the side control. So we're just gonna move back and forth without touching her legs, without letting her move the shoulders, okay? Guaranteeing that we can move from side control to the mount in a smooth transition without giving your opponent any space to move. Okay, it's very important so you can maintain control. This one, guys, again, no need to be fast. We can do that 2 minutes, 2 minutes and a half, back and forth. Make sure with time you have the control, so just keep yourselves tight, moving back and forth so you can ensure your control. Okay, people, let's go to the position. Okay, everyone, so we're gonna work with some attacks here from side control, and I'm gonna start with a really basic one, the Americana, or some people call it Keylock, right? And some people might think that this is a too basic situation for us to work, but it is very important to understand that there are a lot of details involved in this position, and some people might say, oh, this is too easy, everybody knows how to do Americana. One thing is know how to do it, and another thing is know how to hit it, okay? The fact that you know the steps doesn't guarantee that you're gonna be able to hit it in training, and that's what I want you guys to understand here, that you can actually do this in a fight, in a training situation, with your opponent fighting against this, so it's actually effective, okay? So, what usually happens? Sorry guys. Amazing, right?
What is it? Groundhog Day.
Alright, so continue from where I was starting. So I'm gonna have here side control, and I'm gonna start attacking here with the Keylock, because normally the situation when we have side control is my opponent keeping the elbows tight. And a lot of the times when I have this control right here, I'm gonna have Daniel's hand either over the shoulder or in front of my neck, all right? And this is a situation that we're going to see a lot. Let's move back a bit, Daniel. One thing that I'm gonna say right now, and we're gonna work with the defense after we're done with the attacks, but this situation where a lot of people here, especially in the beginning, they hold their partner, they hug people like this. This is not good for you, okay? You're really exposing the arms, all right? I'm not gonna talk with this today, but if your partner is just doing like this and nothing's stopping you from just mount and attacking here, or you can simply place the knee, break this grip, and now you're gonna have the arm to attack. So people, if you're in the bottom, don't hug, okay? It is not helping you move anywhere, is increasing your partner's pressure, and is exposing your arms. So stop with that, okay? You want to protect your arms, but still, I have a really tight pressure here, and I'm gonna start attacking the arm. One thing that is important for us, everyone, is that in order for me to attack this arm, I need to use this one that is under the head. So before I let go of the head, I wanna make sure that I don't lose my pressure. So just changing here. Before I let go of the shoulder that is on the head, I'm gonna drop my hip on the floor so I can keep the pressure. So the leg that I have under the shoulder, I'm going to extend all the way down, drop my hip. So now I'm heavy on her chest and I'm free to use this arm, okay? If I don't do this, if I'm here and I simply let go, I'm giving Dani a lot of space to start moving here, all right? And this is not what I want. So again, I'm keeping the control with the shoulder. I'm extending the leg, hip all the way down. Now I'm okay to let her head go. She cannot move, and I'm gonna have an easier time to attack. So turning here. So now that I guarantee my pressure, what I want to do, Sunny is suffering here a little bit. No worries, she had to answer the phone, so I'm making it extra heavy. Just joking, kids. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I wanna isolate this arm. So I'm gonna bring my wrist under her wrist. And here people, even though I am stronger than Dania, if I try to open her arm with my wrist, I'm gonna have a hard time, okay? It's arm against arm, it's a difficult fight to get. So what I want to do is, I just wanna place my wrist behind her wrist, and here people, I'm gonna grab my shoulder, and I'm gonna push forward with my shoulder so I can open her arm. As long as I pin her arm on the floor, she can no longer bring it up, okay? I'm gonna have a strong control. From here, I'm gonna control her wrist, I'm gonna go under her arm and control my own wrist, and here, slide the elbow all the way to the hip, okay, sorry, and here, just towards my shoulder, I'm gonna have the submission. So, once more. I pass down this guard, I'm already on side control with the cross face, here, putting pressure here with my shoulder on her face. And before I let go of her face, of the cross face to attack this arm, extending the leg that is close to the shoulder, hip all the way down. Now my pressure is on her chest, I can simply let go of the head and work on this arm that is here, okay? One thing that I'm gonna, another detail here, people, that I'm gonna show, same thing that we did before, my wrist under her wrist. Again, everyone, open her arm. It's not gonna be simple, all right? I'm gonna have to use my strength. So in order to use my arm, instead of using my arm, I'm gonna drop my shoulder all the way down so I can push her arm down with my body and not with my arm. From here, controlling her wrist, under her arm, controlling my own wrist, and here I have the grips to set the submission. One thing that is important for us to understand is that if I just hold it like this, I am not preventing Dani from extending her arm. And if she is able to extend the arm, I'm not gonna be able to get the submission here easily, okay? She can break the grip and free herself. So once I set this grip, I wanna talk about a little bit about this monkey grip, okay, everyone? And what I want to do when I have this control is I want to drive my knuckles onto the mat, okay? So again, if I'm just holding like this, with my nails on the mat like this, she can still extend the arm and break the grip, all right? So what I am proposing is for you guys to just twist the wrist a little bit. Try to do the same now, Daniel. Okay? So now she can no longer move and my Americana is way tighter. I didn't even bring it up, just brought towards the hip and I got her to tap. Okay? So just, we can stay on the same side. So again, side control, all right? I establish my position. I want to attack the arm, I need my arm, so dropping the hip all the way to the floor. Now it's okay for me to drop the cross face, and I'm gonna bring my wrist under her wrist. Not pushing with the arm, I'm gonna drive my body forward until I can bring her hand on the floor and set the grips that I have. Controlling her wrist, my own wrist, knuckles towards the mat, I slide her elbow to the hip, towards my shoulder, and I have the submission. Okay, everyone, so now we changed parts a little bit. Daniel was complaining about the pressure. Quarantine is not helping with the pressure. So now I just want to show another situation that we can get. Move a little bit higher, Daniel. Okay, so Daniel has a side control here on me, and she's gonna keep the pressure here, and she's gonna attack the Americana. So just like we did before, okay, as she has a cross face here, she needs the arm, so she's going to extend her leg that is close to my shoulder, dropping the hip all the way down. And now, since she is now heavy on my chest, it is okay for her to just bring the wrist under my arm, my wrist. She's gonna drop her shoulder forward to isolate my arm and set the grips here to get the Americana or the Keylock, whatever you wanna call it, okay? What you guys are gonna see happening a lot of the times, people, is the defense, okay? Especially me being stronger than Daniel, I'm gonna be trying to extend my arm and break the grip. But what is important for here, everyone, is that if she's attacking my arm, my entire focus is here on protecting my arm. So what Daniel can use is, during my attack, since my attention is here on defending this attack, Daniel can use this opportunity so she can here smoothly transit here to the mount, all right? And now that she has a mount, she's already progressing with the position, and she has an even better angle to get the Keylock by driving my elbow all the way down, all the way up, and getting the submission. Okay, so this is very important, everyone. When you're attacking someone, use one situation to, use one attack to get the advantage, to get another possibility of advancing. So in this case, what Daniel did is, she was here, okay, on the side control, she's controlling me. She went here with the Americana, all right? As she's attacking the Americana, I'm trying to defend, and as I'm defending, she uses opportunity to improve her position, and now she has an even better angle to get the submission. Even if she had lost the submission here, she would still have gotten them out and better opportunities to attack. So very important, people, create problems for your opponent so you can get some other opportunities to advance. Okay? Hope you guys enjoy. Okay, people. So now we're talking about side control, right? Then it's gonna start here. Just going to do this exercise. Hair thing. I have the same issue. All right. So the thing is, then it's gonna start here on the side control. It's basically a defense and attack position here. So as Daniel starts on the side control, her goal is to either attack me or improve her position. But actually the main thing for her here is to make sure that she doesn't lose her control. So it doesn't matter if, for example, during the middle of the position, I push and Daniel switches to knee on belly, for example, it's okay. As long as she keeps the control and keep attacking. If I try to defend, she can slide to the mount, for example. Doesn't matter which position she's gonna have. The sole objective here is to keep the control. She can keep attacking from the side control, from the knee on belly, from the mount. Just don't lose the position. If, in the meantime, she can get a submission, good for her, right? My goal, on the other hand, is to either get my guard back. So let's say that I'm here, I get some space, hip skate, establish my guard, and here, good for me. We come back and reset, back from the beginning. Or if during the transition, Dan is trying to attack, and I'm able to push her away, end up on top. If this happens, good for me as well. We come back and we keep working, okay? So again, Dinah's goal is to keep her control. Doesn't matter how, just make sure that she's here on top and attacking me here and get a submission if possible. My goal is to either get my guard back or end up on top. Okay, we can do this with one of you on top for 3 minutes, then you switch, and then you guys can do some regular training afterwards, some rolls. I would suggest for you guys to, even in the regular rolls, to start from side control, just as a good opportunity for you to keep working. Okay? Hope you guys have a good time. Enjoy. See you soon.